My name is Gabriel Passelle. I'm 21. I live in Bristol. I have a 20 fights, so I've won 15. I was born in London, in North London, and then I lived there till I was 8, and then I moved to Bristol when I was 8, and I've lived there ever since. I've been boxing for 7 years now. Boxing is definitely a stress reliever for me, 100%. It's definitely be something I've gone to during hard points in my life, and I think it always will be. To be honest with you, I think yeah, you know, I think some people have music, you know, they have other things, other outlets. For me, I think it's boxing. Even if I'm not inside the ring, you know, even if I'm not actually sparring or fighting, if I'm ever feeling emotional or, you know, overwhelmed by something, just coming to a place like, you know, the boxing gym, where I have, you know, a feeling of like, I deserve to be here, you know, and somewhere where I feel, yeah, I've earned the right to be here, I've earned my space here. Even when you're on the bag, so you're just on the speedboat, you're skipping. For me, this is my place where I feel like nobody can tell me, you know, you're not wanted here, you're not here. You know, it's somewhere, you know, safe to be. So.
Yeah, speed. You see I'm closing you in. Good. Move. There's no point standing there because otherwise you're going right back into the ropes for a brawl. Nice.
My name is Paul Passelle. I'm 57. I'm a coach, but I also coach Gabriel, who happens to be my son, and I coach for Repton. Boxing is one of these sports where I've heard so many stories. Oh God, you know, this guy, boxing saved him from prison, boxing saved him from this, and boxing saved him from poverty. That's not the issue here with Gabriel. I mean, he's got so many. I've given him, and his mother's given him, lots of opportunities to do other things, you know, and I mean, sometimes he's actually messed around a little bit. I mean, for example, he's got, since when he won his first title in London, that no one expected him to win. I did, but a lot of people didn't, because they just thought, oh God, that's not Gabriel. He hasn't got the type of the right attitude for it, you know, the killer instinct. And I thought, no, he's got the competitive nature. He wants to be good at something. He knows that it takes courage. And so when I took him along at 14, he said, yeah, I want to do this.
My family support my boxing wholeheartedly. You know, my mum and my dad have always been there and always supported everything, you know, that I've wanted to do. And I've always been very focused on boxing, so I think, and my dad being my coach as well, and he always has been, so he's fully supported me.
If he's having not a good round, sometimes I say, Gabriel, we're not working hard enough. Because I always say, I never say you, I always say we, because sometimes I know when Gabriel's not concentrating. Sometimes I can see fully something else is on his mind, or he's decided that actually, you know what, this is not my day.
My upbringing definitely influenced me becoming a boxer. You know, my dad spent his whole youth boxing, you know, as an amateur in London. So he raised me, you know, and brought me to the boxing gym when I was young. So definitely. He's told me stories that make me feel, you know, great about boxing. You know, the excitement, you know, the title winning, you know, the best memories. But he's also told me stories about, you know, how hard it's been. He had a very hard experience boxing. You know, he didn't have the support that I had. He didn't have anybody in his corner in that same way, you know, and he had to learn things the hard way, you know. And so he's also taught me, you know, he's told me about experiences in the ring where, you know, I think, oh man, that's really hard, that's very difficult, you know. I don't know if I would have been able to get through that. So yeah, you know, he shared a lot of his experience with me.
Again.
I boxed for the Midlands. I actually boxed for the West Midlands. I remember we had a Midlands squad, and I was selected because they liked the way I boxed, because I could box as well as mix, you know, stand there and brawl and mix it up a bit. But I did actually enjoy brawling. I much more preferred hitting without being hit, you know, which is fundamentally how I teach Gabriel to box.
Me and my dad have always been close. I've always had a great relationship with my dad. He's always been there for me. Boxing's definitely brought us closer together though. Obviously, you know, you realise when I was young I had trouble focusing, I had lots of energy and it was just kind of going all over the place. And he tried to get me into things that would, you know, kind of put my focus into something useful and beneficial for myself. And I couldn't really gel with anything. I tried rugby, you know, I tried playing football, I tried running. None of it. I was terrible. You know what I mean? I was awful. So like, I think that's why I didn't gel with it, because I wasn't very good. So I wasn't good for my confidence anyway. And obviously, it's just like when he brought me to boxing, and he coached me as well in the gym. It really helped my confidence. My dad was someone who really, you know, helped instill some confidence in me and myself. So obviously, I fought in the semi-finals in East London, which I won, thankfully. And that was a hard day anyway, even though I won, because I boxed well, I boxed okay, but it was not my best boxing again. I know I can box better. So I think it was frustrating in that sense. COVID affected me, as for everybody. You know, it's very difficult staying, you know, being obviously at home, you know, for those 2 years. You know, I went into COVID at 19 years old, and I'd won a gold medal at the British University Championships. You know, 2 years later, I've come out of COVID, haven't been in the ring for 2 years. I'm 21 now, and I'm thinking, okay. And I you know, staying dedicated throughout COVID, you know, staying training, keeping the passion, you know, reminding yourself, okay, you know, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm gonna do, you know. Even when you're thinking, okay, what's the point? You know, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be boxing again, I'm not sure if I'm even gonna be able to win again. Keep training, keep training. It was tough, it was really tough. You know, I think even coming out, my general enjoyment of the sport, you know, was reduced because I've been training for so long. What made me want to continue with boxing, even though obviously I've been going through a challenging time like everybody, is I think obviously I've invested a lot of time into boxing already, and even, you know, when you go through periods where you're like, you know, I'm not even enjoying this, it's hard every day, I'm not getting paid for it yet, I'm training every day, I could be going out with my friends, you know, I could be making new relationships, having fun, all of the, you know, I could, you know, have a different career, you know, I could go back to uni, do something like that. I think for me personally, what made me want to stick for boxing and really see how far I can go is obviously there was a version of me that wanted this more than anything. So if you know, and I said I would do it and I would see it through. So now, you know, maybe I don't feel like it, I still owe it to that version to, you know, see how far I can go. And at least then I can look back and say, okay, you know, I saw it through. So that's really what it is.
And introducing in the red corner, representing the Renton Boxing Club, Gabriel Passelle.
My most recent fight was 3 weeks ago. It was the London finals, and I lost to a great fighter from London as well. I just didn't perform as well as I could have. I lost on a split in the finals, so you know, it is what it is, and obviously I'll go again. But as good as my opponent was, I didn't feel like he was better than me, and I couldn't have beaten him. I was not as in the moment as I should have been, and I was not as switched on as I should have been. And I think, yeah, I just did not box my best.
I had to tell Gabriel off for the prima donna behaviour because he didn't want to pick up the medal, and I said to him, no, you can't do that, because everyone was watching me because they know how good Gabriel is.
I'll just work harder, man. It hurts obviously losing, but I'm gonna just train twice as hard and then come back and you know, win, and that's all there is to it. Thank you.